Hello and welcome to episode number 14 of the Selection Saturday off-season pod. I am your co-host, Nick.
And I'm your co-host, Oscar.
You may be noticing that there's a voice missing, and unfortunately we are down a man today. Couldn't make it tonight, but we pressed on. So definitely gonna be an abbreviated version of the pod today. Uh, we're gonna have to. Okay. Yeah, we could actually keep this under 30 minutes. How about that?
About 30, 45 is probably going to be our range, which is compared to how the last couple have gone. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, I can't remember last under an hour. So exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with some. What do you got on your note card, Oscar?
Well, I think this happened last Thursday as well, so a lot of stuff just love happening the day after we record.
Of course.
But the Department of Justice ended up going in and investigating the NFL over certain broadcasting stuff that had to do with just games that were behind a paywall, and it was a whole mess. It's just a whole mess kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I saw it. There's that.
Sure.
Brittany Griner joined the Sun on I think it was a 7-figure deal, is what it was. I have not found a number on it, but WNBA news, it's been more prevalent these last 2 weeks.
Guess so.
Yeah, there's a bit more actually farther down on the card.
Yeah. Brittany Griner. I thought she was washed.
I did not know she was still in the WNBA.
I mean, good for Brittany Griner, but are we seriously paying them more when the WNBA isn't getting more profitable? I mean, this isn't a very good investment, but
they are. Yeah, I mean, they're losing money. Each year is the problem.
Well, I mean, get your bag, Brittany Griner. Been through a hell of a life. So no, sure.
Marquise Bell, Cowboys safety, was arrested and charged during the past week with possession of a controlled substance. Do I know what the controlled substance was? No, because I'm not Marquise Bell. So I'm sure he probably has a better answer to that question. All I know is that he was arrested for it.
Marquise Bell, certainly a member of the team.
He's definitely a member of the team.
I don't think I can even tell you where he's out of college. Let's check where Marquise Bell hails from.
He was pulled over in New Jersey for marijuana possession.
Marquise Bell, the pride of FAMU, Florida A&M.
Heck yeah.
FAMU Rattler. Okay.
Make you proud.
Right.
Right. Well, Doc Rivers. This news brought a smile on my face like nothing ever. Doc Rivers is no longer the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. He has stepped down reportedly. Coaching role, and the Bucks are going to be looking for another head coach.
I think he got his Hall of Fame induction and just was like, I don't got to do anything more. Like,
I would do the same, honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to go to the NBA Hall of Fame, but
Nah, well, you never know, Oscar. Don't sell yourself short. You could one of these days. Maybe the Lakers are hiring. Yeah.
So you'll be the next Bud Webb. Ruben Bain, the short-armed DN from Miami, NFL draft prospect, by the way, was linked to a fatal car crash in 2024. So
Linked how? Do we know?
I mean, he was. I don't think he was driving the car. I think he was a passenger in the car.
Okay.
Because I feel like if he were driving the car, this would have definitely came up prior to now.
You'd think.
You'd think, but I do think it's kind of a Laramie Tunsil situation where his draft stock is going to drop. I'm not saying, well, actually, the first article that shows here's NFL draft comparison of Ruben made to Laramie Tunsil, but
That's funny.
I do still think he'll get drafted. I think he's still a first round pick, honestly.
Well, yeah. People get on him for the short arms, but I really don't care. He is still a monster. I would love to have Ruben Bay on my team.
Mm-hmm. Mikal Bridges, the Iron Man himself,
Yes.
extends his streak.
My goodness, I saw the thing on Instagram where they were like, Mikal Bridges hasn't missed a game or has been leading the league in games for like the past 7 years. He was even doing it in college. I mean, that's a role model right there in a league of sitting out and load management. This guy says, "Heck nah, I'm gonna play all 82," and that is very admirable.
Yeah, I think what I saw is he hasn't missed a game since senior year of high school as well, which is
Awesome.
insane.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
I have it written down right here as Diana Rossini saying, because that was a whole thing. That little whatever happened with Mike Rabel. Anyway, but she resigned actually the other day from the Athletic or wherever she resided.
No.
And the resignation letter was posted today. I didn't actually read it because it's
Probably just
there.
yeah. Who even reads those? I mean, they just plug them into AI checkers, and if it's not AI, they don't post about it, and if it is AI, they're like, haha, look at this was made by AI. So that's basically.
From Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana Tech is going to pay an exit fee to leave Conference USA for football. So college football's finally made it onto the note card.
All right.
And they will be joining the Sun Belt Conference.
So they're not playing 22 games like they originally were scheduled?
Unfortunately, they will not be playing 22 games as originally scheduled.
Oh.
For seeing the team play 22 games.
That would have been crazy. I don't think they would have let it happen, obviously, but like.
Imagine the turnaround though. Like, do you have an A and a B team almost? Like,
yeah, I feel like but like you automatically get a bowl game, surely. Because that's
how does that work?
do you get wait? Is it winning record or is it just 6 games?
It's just 6 games.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But like, how would that work in terms of? I'm not saying they're going to make a college football playoff by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But how would that? Like, which conference would they be aligned with? Would it be Conference USA or would it be the Sun Belt? Because if they're playing
conference games in both, but they still wouldn't have had paid the exit fee. So I think they're just playing Sun Belt games to play Sun Belt games. I think they'd be representing CUSA.
Well, welcome to the Sun Belt Louisiana Tech. Great to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not an Old Dominion schedule, but I'm sure they'll be there in the coming years.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech. Good thing about them that I remember, they were having some quarterback troubles, which is probably why they weren't very good last year. But they had a great kicker and punter, John Hoyt Chance, who has transferred out. I forgot where he went, but remember the name John Hoyt Chance. You'll be seeing him kicking on Sundays, whether it's punting or kicking field goals, being a kickoff specialist. We'll see him on Sundays. I can guarantee you that.
Triple double games was brought to my attention by V. Nicholas Thomas, so thank you for that.
Yes.
John Concher with 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
The Bears in the Bang is what we'll be calling him today. 27, 11, and 11. Jahani McFadden, 13, 15, and 14. Now, when I had seen, like, when you said this, I thought it was like a big team playing for something. It was the Utah Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes. This is a prime example. I think when we see the NBA meetings between the teams and the commissioner, I think the slide number 2, because number 1's the title slide, slide number 2 is going to be that stat line, that game. Guys, we need to stop tanking because we are letting Jemai Meshach, Mbang, and John Concher, who I thought was in the Euro League by now, get triple doubles all in the same game. Like
it's just I I have never heard of any of these three guys ever. No, I'm not saying they're bad at basketball, but I haven't heard their names at all. And all three happen to get a triple double in the same game. Like,
Hey, John Concher has been in the league for quite some time, as far as I'm aware, which is why I thought he was gone. John Concher, averaging 6 points a game, by the way. Yeah, drafted in 2019 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Actually not drafted at all. Signed. Yeah. Um, Straight out of the pride of Purdue Fort Wayne. I've only heard of Meshack or Meshack. What's his name? Jemai Meshack from his time at Tennessee. Uh, because I think, yeah, I mean, I follow Tennessee basketball. I had them win the championship just a few years ago.
yes.
So I was aware of Jemai Meshack. Now this Bez and Bang guy from Yale, never heard of him.
Yeah.
But he is from Potomac, Maryland, so local guy.
Local guy, congrats on the triple double, man.
Yeah.
The NBA play-in tournament began yesterday, and the results from the game that I didn't know much about. Trailblazers beat the Suns 114 to 110. A result out of earlier today, the 76ers actually beat the Orlando Magic 109 to 97. And currently the Clippers are up 61-53 at half against the Warriors. Now the game I really wanted to talk about,
Yes.
the Hornets Heat game,
Oh yes.
because less than 10, or it was like there was less than a shot clock amount of time in overtime, right?
Yeah.
For inbounding the ball, LaMelo gets the ball, turns it over, Heat take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
LaMelo Ball, after turning it over, it's a game-winning shot.
Yes. Thanks. Well, first of all, Brandon Miller hit the three before that to get them close. Let's not pass by Brandon Miller. Good job, Brandon Miller. You're awesome. All right. And then LaMelo Ball gets his get back, and they're the 7 seed, so they'll face 2 seed in the East. Who's that?
That is a very good question.
We'll talk NBA. We should be talking NBA this week, huh? And NHL playoffs start this weekend as well, don't they?
I think NHL play. We'll recap them. We'll recap. Hopefully, maybe.
I'm gonna fill out a bracket. Y'all are just gonna have to be, just get trust us on transparency here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Capitals missed the playoffs anyway, so it was beyond me what I cared for.
I don't really have a team in hockey. I mean, I root for the Caps, obviously, because I don't root for any other hometown teams except for like kind of the Orioles. They're kind of hometown, so
It's in hometown.
I just don't want to root for the Nats because I mean I went to a ton of Nats games when I was a kid, but I like Camden Yards so much more than I do Nats Park. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the WNBA for the second and last time on the note card, which I think might be tied for one of the more appearances actually on the note card this week, which says it all, because I think it goes NBA and then WNBA. Anyway, Aiken signed a 3-year, $5 million Supermax extension with the Las Vegas Aces, so she is in Vegas.
Asia Wilson, former MVP, I believe.
Yes,
Definitely,
former MVP.
definitely top 3 in the W, I'm sure. Supermax and $5 million is kind of laughable.
Supermax, and I saw $5 million. I'm like, so that's just like a signing bonus, right?
Yeah. Well, you're used to the regular standards of basically every other sport. But if it was like 10 mil plus, they'd have a real issue with WNBA and signing these ladies.
I feel like if you pay somebody $10 million in the WNBA, you have like a big name, and then you just have like people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's kind of why she probably got signed to such a low deal, but I don't think she's that young either. I mean,
No.
Asia Wills. Oh no, she's 29. I'm completely wrong.
Okay.
It's actually the largest contract in WNBA history.
Yeah, I mean, you. I feel like we get one of those every year, because like inflation and stuff.
I feel like I think she's gonna hurt to talk about, but we're gonna go to the MLB. The Milwaukee Brewers actually won a game today, by the way, for the first time in 6 games. So I'm over the moon. We're finally above 500 again. But Tristan Yelich the other day went out. He stepped out of the game with some tightness in his hamstring. It happened to be a groin strain, and now he's on the 10-day injury list, which is basically just like the first out of 4 times he'll end up on the list anyway.
Yeah. Real ones remember Prime Yelly Bombs. You know. Sucks for the Brewers.
I mean, instead of still in the NL Central, it's like a conclusion at this point. Death taxes and Brewers Central.
So I was watching the Cubs game today.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing pretty well. So that's
They were gonna win. They were gonna win the division, but then out of nowhere, Milwaukee just like started it up in the MLB. So
the Brewers will always find a way.
they always find a way.
Sure as I won't be the White Sox. My goodness.
Oh, and White Sox.
Oh, Central. My bad, y'all. Who else is in here? You've got St. Louis.
There's the Reds as well.
Right, the Reds.
I know there's someone else, but
Yeah, Brewer Crew, Cubs, Reds, Pirates.
Pirates. That's right.
Yeah, that should be on lock.
Yeah, it'll be unlocked by like the last couple of games of the season anyway, just because that's how it works.
Once the good Cubs choke themselves out of the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, it's a standard every year thing.
Tradition as old as time.
Mm-hmm. Back to the NFL we go. The Commanders revealed new jerseys today.
Yes, they did.
And they looked clean. They looked so nice.
They do look really good. Unfortunately, we is still predetermined, or not predetermined, but we will determine how good they do. It is not determined yet how well they will fare in these new jerseys, but
Yeah.
I know that they will go to New Jersey and beat the Giants twice.
Oh, well, understood that. That's not hard to do. For sure, Miami Dolphins at this point could probably beat the Giants this year.
Goodness.
Probably don't play each other, but mark my words, Miami Dolphins would beat the New York Giants.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Who knows? The Miami Dolphins might make the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay, that's too far.
Well, the draft hasn't even happened yet. Mock draft's coming next week, by the way. 3 teams. Everyone's picking their favorite team and mock drafting them.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't get a first round pick. So.
I technically got a first round pick, but the last first round pick.
Yeah, I just don't want to Micah Parsons, which had come to me. But you know what? It worked out too.
Yeah. I would take Micah Parsons any day of the week.
I would take him first round pick any day of the week. I was not mad at all. And last but not least, but also I'm not very happy about this for obvious reasons. The NFL is onboarding potential replacement refs.
Replacement?
I'm not happy about this because I'm still bitter about the Hail Mary. I am very bitter about that actually because it was an interception.
Yeah. They all say that.
But yeah, I made sure to check my sources on that, and it was right ESPN as well. So it does look like that replacement ref at least being considered. Do I want it to happen? Absolutely not. For very obvious reasons that I have said already.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do to have NFL games.
Yeah. Dude, we need good refs, man. in like all sports. We need good officials in all sports.
I forgot to highlight C.B. Buckner.
Oh my gosh. C.B. Buckner. It, the man's so infamous that he makes, what was his name? Angel Hernandez or whatever?
Angel.
Yeah. Look like Pat Hoberg out there. It sucks what happened to Pat Hoberg, by the way. First ever recorded perfect game in the World Series, I'm pretty sure, and then gets dumped for I forgot what.
I don't even know.
He was like gambling, something like that.
Yeah. And then I might as well just recap the Masters for the heck of it.
Oh yeah,
Me and Josh were completely wrong.
completely,
Didn't even make the cut.
completely.
Oh yeah, he didn't make the cut, so I was very, very disappointed in his performance. But that's what happens when you print a golf club.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't make it out of the bunker on hole 13, but
Or hole. I mean, and then you have hole 18 where he also tripled. So, too bad hole Masters.
yep. Alton Lee helped, which I guess according to you is a regular occurrence.
So yeah, Scotty Scheffler and Hao Tong Lee were in the final group of the British Open, and or I guess the Open Championship, and uh, Hao Tong did not win that event. It was Scotty by like 4 strokes. So they are very familiar with each other. But no, that's no disrespect to Hao. That's no disrespect to Hao Tong.
Oh yeah, no, he's
Hao Tong is a stud, and he just hasn't found a golf course here on the tour that really speaks to his skill set. So I'm sure we're gonna get a Hao Tong Lee win here in the next 2 to 3 years.
and then to be fair, it was a very disappointing.
Oh yeah, no one wanted to win except for Russell Henley for half of a round. So, and then the other half was Rory. So,
I mean, Hao Tong Lee went from 7 under to hitting over par, which is
yeah. Well, that was also just the product of one shot of 10 on. I guess it wasn't the product of one, but yeah.
It was 2 holes.
It was bad for Hao Tong, and it really sucks.
Shane Lowry also had a really bad day for, by the way. He went plus 8.
Yeah.
He really kept it under par. Thought he had a chance to go and win, and then he went out and did that.
See, that's the problem with Shane Lowry. He is just so terrible under pressure. And like once it gets bad, it gets bad. It was the same with John Rahm. I mean, he was like I said, the narrative was he is in his own head. He's gotten second multiple weeks in a row, and look what happens. He's completely out of it from the starting gate. I mean, he barely made the cut, and he didn't really move after that. So just a very average John Rahm. Can I add something about Live Golf? They're like not getting funded by their Saudi Arabians anymore.
Oh, they really?
Yeah, apparently that got paused. Their funding got paused due to the uh tensions, I assume. Liv is apparently going to try to keep things as normal, but signs are not looking good for Live Golf. Is honestly, I like having dueling leagues. I like watching Live. I think the shot and start is a very, very ingenuous and new way to think about it. It doesn't feel right to have everyone starting at the same time on 18 different holes, but it feels very it values. I like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't feel like watching 10 hours of golf.
Which is fair, which is really fair, actually.
So, I do like that. I was watching Live Adelaide. That was my favorite event of the year. When Anthony Kim broke onto the scene. First event with signed to a Live team, and he goes out and wins it after his big struggles. We've gone over it on the pod when it happened. But, that was like the first event I watched of the year, and I'm like, dude, this is sick. Um, and then they've been having events in Hong Kong, South Africa, Japan,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't. I love international golf. I love how they go to these different courses that isn't just in America. That's like the one thing I don't like about the PGA Tour is that they stay within America. They go to Mexico and Puerto Rico on alternate field events, I think. Although I think the Vedanta World Mexico Open. No, there's a Mexican Open. There's a Vedanta World Mexico Open. Um, and then they have the RBC Canadian Open. They have the Open Championship in Britain. But aside from that, it's pretty sparse. It's pretty much located in the United States. And I know it's probably just a whole tradition thing, but I like it. I like international golf league. And I guess that's why you watch your Euro. You watch the Corn Ferry Tour because they go to these fun events across the world. So
Yeah.
basically what I'm getting at, live losing live would be kind of bad, but also you get all the golfers back in one place again. You get Bryson back. You get John Rahm back. You get Joaquin back. You get Elvis Smiley back. Martin Keimer, I guess. Like um, and some of those guys could probably contend, but then again, we saw what happened to the Masters, and the best finisher from Live was
Russell Henley, actually. He tied third with
well,
Cam Young.
Russell Henley's a PGA Tour golfer.
Like some. Oh, wait, yeah. It was someone else. Sorry.
It was
I was looking at someone else. I think it was Tyrell Hatton.
Tyrrell Hatton. You got it. Tyrrell Hatton had a good day.
Tied third with Justin Rose, Cam Young, and Russell Henley.
Yeah.
So.
Tyrrell Hatton had a good day, and then after that, I think he might have been the only live golfer aside from John Rahm who made the cut because Carlos Ortiz didn't do well. Tom McKibben didn't do well. Waco Neiman didn't even qualify. Um, DeChambeau didn't make the cut. It was yeah, it was a bad performance from Liv. Oh, Sergio Garcia was barely made the cut and then he crashed out. Um so it was a very rough Masters for Liv and their future very much hanging in the balance. We don't know what's going on.
And to be big, because there's 4 people tied for third, so I'm not going to go over all 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I will highlight Cammy, though, to have a decent round 4, but couldn't hold it together. He went over at third, which is still really good at the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Scotty Scheffler, who climbed his way up the ladder.
What last week?
Down it.
Yeah, like this guy, like first 2 rounds. Oh, Scotty Scheffler. What? He's in like 30th place. You look at the leaderboard. Oh my gosh, he finished solo second.
Mm-hmm.
And a bad tournament for Scotty Scheffler. So,
yeah,
like, he's in the field next this coming week for the RBC Heritage. I will go over him during the golf segment. Scotty's lost his 5th gear. I'll be honest. Or he's misplaced it, and he doesn't know really where it is until it's too late. At the Masters, it seemed like no one wanted to win. Okay, until Rory McIlroy started to like kind of pull away.
I mean, he never really pulled away. He was wasn't he? He was he was 12 under at one point. He went 11 under, tied with Cam Young.
Yeah.
He only won by going 100, so he really didn't gain much.
He didn't move. Yeah, no one really moved at the top. It was Russell Henley and Scotty who were real big movers, but they were too far behind.
Yeah, they just weren't far enough ahead. Like literally, if Scheffler was 1 stroke lower than he was, it would have gone to a playoff. Which I was all for, by the way. I would have loved seeing another.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been electric between Scotty and Rory. Oh my gosh.
Was it 4 of the last 5 Masters?
Yes. It was Rory, Scotty, Rahm, Scotty.
Yeah, it would have been amazing seeing both of them go for the playoff.
And my 1 and 2 were Rory and Scotty. I mean, obviously, not too risky of a pick, but let's remember Rory was fourth or fifth down the odds board at the start of the tournament, so.
Mm-hmm. And to round it off, obviously, Roy McIlroy wins his back-to-back Masters. He's the fourth guy to do it. First since Tiger Woods did it. I believe it was 2001, 2002 was when Tiger
I
Woods.
think you're right. At some point in that early 2000s.
It's either 01, 02, or 02, 03. It was one of those two. So congratulations to McIlroy for winning the Masters once again. Got another green jacket.
Yep.
We all say hoopla.
All right. Um, is that? I guess that's the note card. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went a bit off script, obviously, going into the Masters.
But we had to, yeah.
But we had to. We had to cover the Masters. So
Masters.
it's RBC Heritage time.
It is RBC Heritage time. Do you want to stay on here?
I will stay on. I'm gonna try to familiarize myself with this golf aspect.
All right. Love to see it. So, we are here. The RBC Heritage. We are at, gosh, where are we? Oh no.
It is
RBC.
Harbor Town Golf.
Harbor Town. I wanted to say Spyglass, but that's at, shoot, like the Amex. So, I was in California. Hilton Head Island, yes. Which I've been there. Great place. I really wish this was back when I was interested in golf because I would have loved to see Harbor Town. Harbor Town Golf Links. Hilton Head, South Carolina. I will get started. Do you have a pick?
For what?
Just end. Like, do you have any picks? Do you want to make a pick?
I'm gonna try to predict the winner.
Okay.
And then I'll do my oddball pick.
Okay, cool. Works for me. Josh will put in his tomorrow. I'll get him to put his in. We can do a recap real quick. I killed it on the golf. Rory won. That got me 1,225 points. Scotty got second, which is top 5. So that got me 106. Rom, Shoffley, and Fleetwood. I think actually Shoffley also got me that top 5.
I do think,
or at least top 10. He might have been top 10. But Shoffley really turned it on near the end.
Shoffley was top 10, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't cash in on that. Tommy Ladd unfortunately went backwards, and Rom was just backwards. Our last place, the last place golfer was Davis Riley, who I had picked as my oddball to make the cut. He's in a bad place right now. That's 2 big events in a row that he has gotten dead last in. This is Nick Dunlap, where Nick Dunlap was last year, where he just was in such a slump. But he, at some point, won an event, and he's getting exempt because he won that event. But he's not really the caliber to be here. It's like
I see that.
He was on a heater at some point, and then has completely lost it since. But since he was on that heater and got a win in the process, he's just kind of just a Joe Schmo. Not relative to the professional golfers, he's a Joe Schmo. But I'm still a big Davis Riley guy. Davis, I hope you find it soon. Root for you. Probably on the field here. Did not pick him to get last this week. Sorry. Did you ever find out how many bogey-free rounds there were? I saw that Scotty had 2.
Yeah, I know Scotty had 2. I tried finding it, and for some reason I wasn't able to find it.
Yeah, so, I'm not trying to go through all that.
Neither am I.
So we'll just void it. I mean, you're not winning it anyways. Yeah. We're already so many points ahead of you.
No, I think you'd be so far ahead of me.
Yeah.
Regardless, but.
Bryson didn't win. Bubba Watson did miss the cut, but it was actually on the numbers, so 1 more stroke gained, and he would have, or if he had gotten 1 more stroke under par, then he would have made the cut. But Bubba Watson did miss the cut, and FIFA Laupacti also missed the cut. And Mike Weir also missed the cut. But I think FIFA did the worst out of our 3 last place picks. So that's your update. I am now closing in on Josh. I'm about 900 points away. And if my winner wins here, I will have overtaken him by quite a lot. But before we get there, we got to go to 5th place. For my 5th place pick, I'm going with a huge underdog here. Ryo Hisatsune, plus 1,200 to get a top 5. He hasn't missed a cut since the first tournament of the year. And he didn't play at the Masters. He did not qualify. So he doesn't have that hangover that maybe some of the other golfers did. I know Justin Rose was originally supposed to be in this tournament. He withdrew.
Really?
Yes, I think that gets Brooks Koepka into the tournament. So do with that what you will. It was either him or Kashmir Keith Mitchell. Either way, neither of them are probably going to make any waves. Maybe Brooks. I don't know. Major Brooks. Brooks Koepka always does well at the majors. But this is not a major. This is a signature event, though, so no cut. Debut at this event last year saw a T18 performance. So Hisatsune, off the bat, was doing really well last year. He was about as hot as he was last year as he is this year right now. Maybe he's cooling off a bit at the moment, but I like him for this course. He just had a top 10 at the Valero Texas Open. So
not too long ago.
yeah. It's difficult to get to the green in regulation here at a links course. You gotta just hone in your irons and make sure you're not behind the count in a sense, like in the rough, in the bunker, trying to save par, scrambling. And he doesn't scramble too often. He's really good at getting to that green in regulation, making the par putts, making the birdies if he needs to. I think this is a big underprice for big day Hisatsune. So, Josh. No, Matt Fitzpatrick. Okay. Number 4. I'm going Patrick Cantlay. Plus 405 for a top 5 here. This is another underprice. His course history here is absolutely nuts. T3, T7, T3, cut. Second, third, T3, T13.
Oh, he's definitely making top 5.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, plus 405, and plus he's coming off a T12 at the Masters and a T7 at the Valspar. Like, he's fantastic at these tricky Pete Dye courses. I'm just shocked that he's plus 405. Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, plus 405 for the finish that he's clearly gotten while he's been here is. I mean that's something really good to bet on, honestly.
Yeah. The only worry is that the T13 was from last year, so you worry that he's tapering off in his career, but I'm not. I think Cantlay is gonna be super alive to get a top 5. Josh. Sahith Gala. Okay. Number 3. Colin Morikawa at plus 380. I'll be honest, this one's not one I'm too confident in.
Really?
Yeah, because I was watching the final round of the Masters, and Colin Morikawa was waddling like a duck because of his injury. He played through it at the Masters and got T7. So clearly, the adrenaline or something was enough to give him a great tournament, a great round 4. He was walking like Fred Couples, playing like him in his prime. His last 4 tournaments are win T7, 5th T7. So clearly this injury is not affecting him. He's a complete player. He can place high. He doesn't win too often. I'll give him that, but I don't need him to win. I need him to get a top 5. He's got very volatile course history. He's got some high finishes, some lows. It all depends on what Colin we get. So this is kind of a shot in the dark. I'm shocked that he is lower odds than Patrick Cantlay, who seems like a much more sure thing heading into this tournament.
Yeah.
So go and call him Marco. Number 2. Oh wait, Josh. Sorry, I didn't let Josh go. Scotty Scheffler at number 3 because he sucks. Wow, big stuff. Wow. All right, number 2, Scotty Scheffler, minus 122 for a top 5. That's right. I'm not going Scotty to win for a second week in a row. Worked for me last week. I picked Scotty Scheffler second. What did you do? Get second. I just can't back him to win anymore. Like I said, he just doesn't have that fifth gear anymore. The top 5 should be in the picture. It won't get me a lot of points, but he's Scotty. He'll rise to the top. He just won't be able to win it, I don't think. But the problem with not picking him to win is like, oh, if he just wins it, I'm gonna look so dumb. Like, ugh, why didn't you pick Scotty Scheffler? He's the number 1 golfer in the world by like a million. So if it works out, I look like a genius. If it doesn't, I look like a complete idiot. So that's the
It really just goes one way or the other.
yeah. Josh, who's your second place pick? Blades Brown. Wow. He's not even in the event. That's pretty crazy. Okay. And number 1, the pick to win for me is, I mean, if you've been following the podcast for this long, you would have thought I had like a man crush on this guy. It's Russell Henley. I picked him to win the Sony Open, the first event of the year. I'm picking him to win this event of the year. I've never gotten off the Russell Henley train, except for last week. I did get off the Russell Henley train last week, and then he, of course, got T3. So back on the Russell Henley train. I never got off, guys. I swear. I just didn't think he was going to get top 5 because there were so many good options. But he played himself out of the Masters win down the stretch near the end there. If he had continued with his birdie train, he probably would have won. But Amen Corner is quite the tough stretch of holes, and that probably rattled him, which is kind of shocking because he is quite the veteran. But Augusta National for you. He capitalizes on the tough par 3s, which, freaking wherever we are, sorry, Hilton Head, gosh.
Yeah.
The golf links. Harbor Town, thank you, myself. Harbor Town does have its fair share of tough par 3s. What can I say about Russell that I haven't already said? He's just a consistent dude. He's just waiting to win one. He hasn't won one this year. But he's gotten close. And the last time I took him, he missed the cut, which is why I didn't pick him at the Masters. Because I'm like, okay, zoom out, maybe take a break on Russell Henley. Now he's back. We're back on Russell Henley. Missing one cut is gonna take a lot more. Okay, to get me off the Russell Henley train. So we're riding.
Really?
We're riding the Russell Henley train. He plays this event nearly every year. And his last 5 appearances were T9, cut, T19, T12, T8. So solid, consistent guy here. This is just a Russell Henley course. We're going Russell Henley to win his first of the year.
Well, I'm going to go with the very, very boring pick, but probably the right one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Scotty Scheffler to win, especially after watching. I think I watched round 2, 3, and 4 of the Masters, actually, which is the most golf I've watched in ever. So
fair.
I definitely have ball knowledge now. But no, he was really heating up court, especially in round 4. Clearly, he was a better golfer. He was the best golfer in the tournament, honestly. He's just too little, too late. But yeah, he's number 1 by like a million. So it's still wrong not picking him, honestly.
That's fair. I mean, I basically gave the same analysis every week for quite some time. I'm like, Scotty's winning. It only worked out for me once, and that was the first time at the Amex or the Farmers or wherever he went. So it's time for my favorite. We're going with the last place pick. Who is getting last place? You may ask me. I actually haven't checked the odds board for this. I gotta check if who I'm picking is dead last. But while I do it, I guess I'll say his name. I'm going with Aldrich Potgieter. I think the second or third time this year, because he is in this event because he won the man. What event was that? It was a 3-way playoff. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was the Rocket Classic, right? He beat Max Grazerman and Chris Kirk in a 5-hole playoff. It was absolute cinema. Um, Unfortunately, he has a very defined skill set. I'll say it like that. As in, he is a driving distance merchant. If he can't shoot the ball 400 feet with his driver, he's not going to win. And unfortunately, this might be the worst course for him because this is a very technical course where you got to dial it in with your irons. And Aldrich Potgieter did that once, and it was when he won. So I can't stress enough how little his driving distance matters here. Uh, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go against my South Africans. I love my South Africans, but Potgieter is not winning here, and he's getting last place because he's gonna hit it into the trees every single time, and he's gonna DeChambeau it and completely fall apart.
Well, my last place pick will be Jonathan Vegas.
Oh.
He did not make the cut in the Texas Open. Houston, he actually had a good outing, so we're not going to talk about that. The players, he didn't even make the cut. Arnold Palmer Invitational. How many people go to the Arnold Palmer Invitational?
I think that's a signature event. Let me see who I had. Scotty, Rory, Russell, Siwoo, Shane. So yeah, that was probably a signature event if Rory was in it.
He got T18.
Okay.
44th in the Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
He 78 at the AT&T Pebble Beach Prelim.
Okay.
At the Farmers. Clearly, I mean, he's had a good couple of outings
Mm-hmm.
over the last couple of tournaments, which maybe why. I mean, he's still towards the bottom of the betting.
Yes, he is.
That's beside the point. I do feel confident that he will be not the guy this weekend.
Gosh, Tom Hoagie has been completely invisible this year. I don't think I've seen a single shot from him, and we are like 13 tournaments into the year. My goodness. Same with Carl Phillips. I remember his win in the Puerto Rico Open last year. That's how he's into all these signature events, which is kind of silly that if you win an alternate field event, you get into these events, but um, it's okay. I mean, nothing against Carl Phillips and Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell's a two-time winner on the PGA Tour last year, but I'm pretty sure one of them was a low-level PGA event and the other was an alternate field event, while everyone else was at like a signature event. So your best contender there was probably like Rasmus Højgaard. So um, same with Ryan Fox. I think he also won 2 tournaments last year that were not incredibly prestigious. Anyways, um, let me get my analysis on Johnny Vegas while we're here. Um, Honestly, not bad. Some value in there. Um, what's his course history looking like? Let me check. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that Wi-Fi inside my garage is not fantastic, but the show must go on. What are we looking at the? Okay, cut and a T17, but his last appearance here was in 2020. But he had a very good event back in 2020. So
Well, that's 6 years ago.
yeah, Johnny Vegas is 41 years old. He's been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
So you never know. You never know. He could totally stink it up. He could also be your round one leader. He's done it before. He's a very volatile golfer. So you're just basically banking on him to stink it up 2 times in a row, which is basically what we're all counting on. But Josh, who's your last place pick? I'm gonna go with Adam Schenk because I don't know who he is. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Josh.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not gonna be Adam Schenk. I don't know who he's gonna pick. It might be Tom Hoagie. Or like he might also go Johnny Vegas. He's a well-known Johnny Vegas uh hater. He brings him up. I don't know if he hates him or likes him, but we do tend to bring up how he was the first round leader at a pretty big event. It might have been the Masters. He was like leading the tournament for like the first out of the AMT times or something like that. I forgot. Johnny Vegas was leading a very important tournament, and we didn't know why. So, the oddball. I found some incredible value. Wonderful value, I'd say. It's Russell Henley again, but it's in the matchup against Matt Fitzpatrick. He is plus money in this matchup, plus 105. Russell's winning this tournament, or at least getting a top 10. And it's honestly insane that this is plus odds. There's too much water danger here for Matt Fitzpatrick to succeed. He folds under harsh conditions like 70% of the time. One of those 30 was when he won his major. But I'm a big anti Matt Fitzpatrick guy. And to be fair, I said my big my big claim last week was Matt Fitzpatrick ain't making the cut. And let's be honest, he was on pace. He was 2 over after the first round. So he needed to he needed to turn on the Jets, and to be fair, he did. He ended up having like a meager performance for his standards. Um, so good for Matt Fitzpatrick. But when I get a read on I got a read on Matt Fitzpatrick last week. I'm thinking I might have another read on Matt Fitzpatrick this week. He's either winning the tournament or he's losing this matchup. That's my Matt Fitzpatrick hot take of the week.
Yeah, the Matt Fitzpatrick take of the week.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like at this point. My oddball pick. We're not going back to the bogey thing. I feel like that's just going to be something that's a pain to look for.
Yeah.
We're going to be going top rest of the world with.
Top rest of world.
We're going to go Corey Connors.
Wow.
To be top rest of the world. It's plus 810. Not too bad.
So Corey Connors actually was drafted in our fantasy league. We might be seeing a top 5 mention from him on Josh's list. I don't think he's even going to be the top Canadian, in my personal opinion, but he definitely does have value considering he is very cheap, as in his odds are pretty low to win this market. Let me check his course history because I see that is doing pretty well on my little steady thing. Corey Connors, not Corey Pavin. He is on the Champs Tour. How have you done at the RBC Heritage, mister? Cut. Took a break. No, never mind. That's not a break. That's okay. Next year. T21, T4, T12, T31, T44, T49. So he did really well in like the early 20s, but the last 2 years he's kind of been a dud. Like not great, not terrible. So, um,
Top rest of the world.
top rest of the world for you. I mean, I'm a Corey Connors guy. I can always get a hop on Corey. Yeah.
And
T4 in 2021.
T4 in 2021. Yeah. So never say never.
Yeah. It's not Corey Connors. Why not? Why not Corey?
Corey Connors. Right.
I mean, I'm more of a Sudarshan Yalamaraju guy in terms of the Canadians. If I were to do top rest of world, it would probably obviously be Rio. He's part of top rest of world, isn't he? Rio Satsune. He's from Japan, so yeah.
Let's say 20. So he's just right behind Corey Connors.
Okay, that would be my pick. But it's neither here nor there, guys. Anything else you got for us, Oscar?
I do not have anything else.
Okay. Well, with that, I'll send everybody off. Unfortunately, Josh isn't present today, so he doesn't have our send off pun play on words thing. So I'll try my best. Ladies and gentlemen, next time you find yourself at a submarine sandwich shop at a deli, go ahead and get yourself a hoagie.